Hello and welcome to
the world of tomorrow.
to the world of tomorrow's comic book review show, Comicstorian Weekly, with Andy and myself. Andy, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic, Dan. Thanks for asking.
We're still waiting on someone to create a compilation of Andy's I'm Fantastic. So please get on that, tweet it to us. That would be fantastic. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just straight up jump on into the comics this week.
I hope we don't hit our heads. No? Okay.
And that's Andy, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so first up, we have Amethyst number 3. This is a part of the Wonder Comics series in DC. It has been quite a while since Amethyst came out, and the story where it ended actually kind of works because the Amethyst Kingdom has been completely frozen in Amethyst, the stone. And so this story is about Amethyst, the Princess Amethyst, going on an adventure with a couple other people to go and fight Lord Opal, who is the villain, and she believes that he was the reason why her entire kingdom got frozen. And she's also trying to figure out whether or not her parents are alive or are not alive, because she did find them frozen in Amethyst. It was actually not too bad of an issue. I'm not entirely the audience, so I feel like I do have a little bit of hesitancy in saying that it was fantastic. But I mean, I didn't hate it. I think this series does have potential. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. I mostly read this just because I actually enjoyed the animated short that DC did a while back. I thought that was actually kind of neat, so I decided, you know what? Why not? I'll check it out. And apparently there's a good chance I never read issue number 1 because we don't even have it purchased. So
I like it. Solid.
I only knew her because she was in Young Justice, and I liked how they portrayed her in that comic. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll keep reading it. Anyway, that is Amethyst number 3.
You said amethyst like 14 times.
I know. It kept throwing me off.
Yeah.
It became one of those words, and I'm like, am I saying it right? Such a weird word. All right, so next up on our list is Black Cat number 11. So this is the start of a new arc called, I believe it's called Full Metal Black Cat. And this is a story about Black Cat trying to break into Stark Industries. This is back during the time that Stark did still own Stark Industries, because I believe she had created a device that was going to transfer through dimensions, and she needed the nanotech forge that Tony Stark has to create a key.
Sure.
So this was a fun issue because we did get to see like all the thought process. It was essentially like a Ocean's 11 prep issue where they're like talking about the different strategies that they could use that might work, might not work.
Right.
And I thought it was a very good issue. I'm actually kind of enjoying this. I like the direction they're going. I like this heist vibe that they've gotten into. And if you don't want a spoiler of the very end, you can mute for just a second. She creates her own Iron Man suit that looks like a black cat. I'm going to show it to Andy real quick because I thought it looked pretty freaking awesome. And I really hope they keep it around.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Like it's
pretty cool.
It looks pretty cool. I think this has potential. So if you are interested in Black Cat, this is number 11. And the nice thing about this, excluding the device that they are kind of using, which they do semi-explain, you could use this as a jumping on point. Because all you need to know is Black Cat is a thief.
Right, yeah.
So keep that in mind if you did not want to really catch up to this point, but you were interested in reading it. Next up on our list is Batman 92. I will let you talk a little about this.
Didn't read it.
You didn't read it? Oh, okay. I was like, this was actually a pretty good issue.
What's the cover?
This was the continuation of the designer.
Okay. So this is, so it's obviously we left off 4 months ago, wherever it was, with Batman having defeated Deathstroke, and then they were attacked by zombie cops.
Yep.
So this issue picks up where that one left off. So the Riddler has come out with his new giant riddle game, which is
actually, I kind of liked it.
It was good, and it was really funny how pissed off he was getting that Batman kept getting all the right answers.
He made a crossword puzzle
of Gotham City, essentially.
City.
Yeah. So this is Batman goes to defeat the Riddler because he already knows where the Riddler is because of the one video that Riddler put out there. Batman recognized where he was, so him and Deathstroke show up, and then Batman actually comes face to face with the designer. On the not flip side, but on the other side plot is Catwoman working with Harley Quinn.
Yep.
And she needs information from the underbroker,
as well
or
as
she needs money from the underbroker.
She needs a lot of money.
I don't know why. They didn't really say it, and I can't remember what it was.
I believe it's related. I know it's related to the designer because the whole point of what they had planned was the biggest heist to get the most amount of money, which I believe was to rob Bruce Wayne.
I think so. I should have read the previous issue when I read this one. But then Harley comes face to face with Punchline, which is the Joker's new sidekick or side chick, whatever you want to say.
Her.
The costume design is pretty cool. Yeah. Overall, it's a very good issue. I've been enjoying the designer run so far. Yeah. I mean, if you've been reading Batman and you had a 4-month hiatus or wherever it was, this is not a good jumping on point for those who are like,
definitely not.
I might need to pick up Batman since there's only like 6 books that come out right now. Not a good jumping on point.
The jumping on point is issue 86, I believe,
think so,
just so you are aware. Before that,
but it is very
Tom
good.
King.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm really
good
enjoying
new issue.
this.
Yeah.
I'm glad I jumped in after the Tom King run.
Yeah.
Because this very, very good. I believe it's this was like part 7 as well.
Something like that. Yeah.
Part 7. So it's quite a long arc. Expect multiple part videos when we finally do this on the channel. But yeah, I would definitely say Batman is worth reading.
It's pretty solid right
now.
now.
It's really enjoyable. The art,
it
not
goes
bad,
either way.
But I definitely go.
Sometimes it looks really good,
and
and sometimes it's like, I don't like the way they did this. But yeah,
I think one of the best parts in this issue though is when Batman calls in his bat train.
Yeah, he's got a bat
and
train.
And Deathstroke's just like, you have a bat train?
At this point, I don't know why anyone would be surprised about anything Batman has.
Oh yeah. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So
he's like, I got the bat scooter.
My bat Vespa. What's up, villains?
What's those? Nah, it doesn't matter. Keep going.
Were you going to say like
rickshaw?
The mall cop?
No, I was thinking rickshaw, but I couldn't think of rickshaw for some reason.
Batshaw.
Yeah.
All right.
Alfred's just pulling it.
I could see it. Oh, all right. Next up on our list is Deadpool number 5. So this is the continuation.
I missed this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because there were quite a few Marvel that we actually did not pick up.
Yeah.
And
maybe
for some reason I thought you read later, so you probably missed a couple of the X-Men comics as well.
Possible.
So this is the continuation of the Deadpool is King of Monster Island. And Elsa Bloodstone is still a big part of this comic, which is also why I thought you had read it, because I know you love that character. And I actually really, really like her. And I don't know what direction they're going in with her, but I do kind of hope they make her and Deadpool a thing for a while, because there is a part in this where she kind of accepts him. Like, she kind of like warms up to him a little bit. Yeah. And I think my favorite line was when Deadpool's like, you know, under this mask, I look like a super hideous, like pepperoni pizza or something like that.
With teeth.
And and her response was, I work with monsters for a living. Your face is like watching a wallpaper dry or something. And he's like, that is the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me.
Pretty good.
Fantastic issue. I'm really enjoying what Kelly Thompson is, I think it's Kelly Thompson. Is doing with this right now. Let me just verify that it is her. I don't like giving credit to the wrong author. Yes, this is by Kelly Thompson. I think she's doing a great job so far. I do like the use of Elsa Bloodstone. And this issue is about a giant kaiju monster that is essentially a preteen, so it's very rebellious. And it's kind of a moral of the story is Deadpool really wants to be able to not have to kill monsters, and kind of debating at what point do I kill, what point don't I kill, that kind of thing. It was a really enjoyable issue. I definitely recommend it. Next up on our list is Excalibur number 10.
I did read this one.
I know you've been really enjoying this, so I'll let you talk about this one.
So this is another one I was like, did I read the previous issue? I was trying to remember. So this one basically...
Also, I'm just going to straight up say, I don't know when this is in the timeline of X-Men right
now. I'm very confused by that, which is why I was like, did I read the previous issue? So this one is, they seem to be in an alternate reality created by Jamie, who's the new king of Avalon.
Yep.
In that now Krakoa is at war with Britain.
Or Jamie's at war, but making it look like it's Krakoa.
And Britain are at war. But then he also says that it's not what is it? Betsy says it's not a real, or Betty, not Betsy. It's like not a real, it's an alternate reality, but he says that she...
Betsy?
I think it's Betty. Isn't it
Betty
Braddock?
Bragg.
I think it's Betty Braddock.
Oh.
I don't remember.
No, it's Betsy.
It is it? Okay. So I said it right the first time.
You did.
So I can guess myself.
So
he says she's like, this has to be an alternate reality, and he explains that he created it, but then her beliefs made it real. It's a whole thing. It's very confusing. Also, Kitty Pryde's in it.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be dead. So it's not a bad issue. It's just really confusing.
I don't know if they'll throw in the fact that it's like a different reality that she's driving, or
and then at the
captain of a flying ship,
right? And then at the very end,
literal ship, for the record, not like a flying,
like an actual boat.
Yes,
like Pirates of the Caribbean kind of thing. And then at the very end, they become the Captain Britain Power Rangers. It's very confusing. I don't know what's going on with this book right now, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It's just really confusing, and I feel like I might have missed an issue.
I'm not sure if we did. So at the end of the issue, I will kind of explain this. They do have like a family tree chart, but it's based on the reality breaking. And according to it, we do have multiple Betsy's, and he's kind of splitting realities on different Betsy's, not entirely, but like specifically choosing them. So I'm really enjoying it. I mean,
it was a good issue. It's just a little confusing.
Yeah, besides the confusion, I thought this was fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Tim Howard Teeny Howard is doing a great job.
She's a good writer.
Yeah.
She's very good.
All right, next up, I'm actually going to save this one for the end. It's the Joker 80th anniversary.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So after that, we have Harley Quinn 73. So I did start reading this on a previous arc. At first, I thought I had missed an issue because Booster was not there at the start.
Oh, he goes away at the end of the last issue.
Yeah,
that's why.
I had forgotten that bit, but I enjoyed it. They finally go more into her looking into her
friend's death.
Suicide, and there's a lot of twists and turns, a lot of surprisingly deep moments that you don't really expect from a Harley Quinn comic. And I really enjoyed it.
It was a good issue, yeah. I really like the art style they do with this book. And I do like, I like when she goes back to Booster.
Yes.
And he's like, but you're drunk. And she's like, are you catching the feels? Gross. And then she runs away. Yeah. I've enjoyed this. And then there's more twists at the very end that kind of lead into whatever the next issue is going to be.
Yeah.
So I've been enjoying this. If you like Harley Quinn comics, this has definitely been good.
Yeah. And based on the cliffhanger at the end, it sounds like it might wrap around to a previous Harley arc.
I think so. Yeah.
I did not read that one, but I'm interested to see how it goes. All right, next up on our list is Justice League number 46. So this is continuing the Spectre storyline. The Spectre has separated from Jim Corrigan and is essentially making everyone react on their deepest, bottled up feelings. Yeah. And then this is, I mean, not too much happens. It's just they go to the Amazon to try to get to Tartarus.
Yeah. They fight the Amazons.
Yep. Wonder Woman continuously proves what a badass she is.
Yeah, I was going to say Wonder Woman, I think, proves why she should be like the tactical leader of the team, even maybe above Batman at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good issue. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just a big fight, and then they ended up in Tartarus, which just leads into the next issue. Overall, I would say this is a really good arc so far.
I'm really enjoying it. At first, I was a little hesitant. I won't lie. I was like, this seems like it's going in a weird direction, but I'm kind of liking it. The twist at the end was twisty enough that I'm excited for the next issue.
Very twisty.
All right.
Twister. It's almost a board game.
Next up on our list is Justice League Odyssey number 21. I'll let you talk about this one because
this issue is just prepare for the fight scene. It's just one giant fight. It's supposed to be the final knockdown, drag out with Darkseid and his pair of angels. They use I forget what it is, but the thing that is designed to kill
the eschaton.
Yes,
I believe
is they finally set that loose on Darkseid,
which was badass.
Which was pretty badass. And then Justice Cruz is like, okay, well, we got to get rid of the time traveling stuff. We got to destroy
the revision mechanism that essentially rewrites the universe.
And she tells what's his name, Epoch, I believe.
Epoch, yeah.
That while yes, it would be bad if Darkseid gets this, it would also be bad if really anybody got a hold of this.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of pops her at a time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
So, I mean, in terms of the actual story for the book, it's mostly just a giant fight scene with that twist at the end, which I spoiled for you. So, I apologize. I don't really care, though. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad issue. I really like this. I still don't like where they did with the art now. I still think the art is a lot worse than it used to be.
I think the biggest problem with it is it's so, like, detailed that the massive fight scenes are just, plus very crowded and busy. Yeah. Busy art, I think, would be the best way to say it.
But overall, the story is still very good. I'm interested to see where they're going with it. Yeah.
Definitely. So that's Justice League Odyssey number 21. I wasn't sure if you read this, but Legion of Superheroes number 6 came out.
No.
If you have been reading that, might be worth continuing. I don't know. Next up on our list is Miles Morales Spider-Man number 17. So this is the first issue of the Miles Morales Spider-Man after the outlawed issue where there is the no teen superhero
you
law.
Have to be sponsored.
As well as a group called Cradle, led by Dum Dum Dugan, that are there to capture them. So my first thought was, okay, so you're worried about these teen superheroes getting injured, so you're going to have a group of people try to tase Spider-Man.
What's the problem? I don't understand your problem.
Logic, I don't know what's going on there. It was a fun issue. It's interesting seeing where it's going. I liked, so it starts off with him kind of being like, you know what, screw all that. I want to help people still. And as he's going around, he finds a kid that's just kind of sad because people have been making fun of him because he like dresses, like he makes his own clothes and stuff. And it was actually kind of heartwarming. And I thought it was I thought it was really good because it kind of shows that teenage superheroes are not just there to prevent supervillains and stuff like that, but to also be a role model for younger kids and like really connect to them on they can actually relate kind of situation. So I really enjoyed this issue. If you have been reading Miles Morales Spider-Man, I would definitely say keep reading it. Next up on our list is one I believe you did not read, New Mutants number 10.
Nope.
So this is still going on with the really, really, really bizarre story because, you know, it's New Mutants. Surprise. They had gone to, I can't remember the name of the country, but they have gone there. There was a giant black hole that had appeared, and it turned out that it was a mutant. And in this issue, they're trying to help her or help the mutant try to figure out how to end this nightmare they seem to be having. They realize that her powers are based around her emotions and that she seems to be dreaming and having a nightmare. So there was a lot of talking in this issue. I felt like a lot of the pages could have been taken out. A lot of the talking, because a lot of it's also very much like, oh, You have the president of this country getting the media to try and say that Krakoa caused this so that they could fix this. Wow, that's new. So, I mean, it's not really my favorite comic right now. If I had a mutant or an X-Men comic that I was going to drop, New Mutants probably would have been the one.
Right.
But if you do like that kind of creepy, bizarre storyline, and that kind of stuff, I would say keep going. It is keeping that vibe. But like I said, I feel like I'm falling out of the demographic on this one.
It's fair.
Next up, another one I'm not sure if you read, Nightwing 71.
I did read Nightwing
All
71. We're
about
like
it.
so close to having Nightwing back.
So close.
It's just so close. So this issue is Rick Grayson, who's still very confused because he has a combination of Rick Grayson's memories, Dick Grayson's memories, and then a little bit of Dick Grayson's memories that were falsified by the Court of Owls, thrown in there for good measure.
Fantastic.
He's still in Bloodhaven. He gets called and has to fight Tusk as his pseudo Nightwing, but not really Nightwing, but he's still kind of Nightwing at the same time. And then the Joker shows up to tell him that he can explain to him what his true memories are. Shocking twist. The Joker does not have Dick Grayson's best interests at heart. Who knew? Because then Joker starts to use the same sort of mind warping thing that the Court of Owls used to explain to Dick that Joker took him in as his sidekick after his parents were killed by Bruce Wayne. So
That is fantastic.
which, as I understand it, that is supposed to be part of the upcoming Joker War arc. Yeah. At this point, I just want Nightwing back. That's all I want.
From the sound of it, it sounds like after the Joker War, Nightwing will be back.
I'll even take Tom King's Grayson. I don't even care.
I actually kind of like
I did really like Grayson, actually. That's what I'm saying. I just want, but it doesn't have to
We
be
want
Nightwing.
Dick
I want
back.
Dick Grayson
Yeah.
back. That's all I want. Yeah, I mean, if you've really enjoyed this Rick storyline, I suppose this is still pretty good to go with. But yeah, at this point, I just want Nightwing back. That's all.
All right. Next up, the Batman's Grave #7. I have not been reading this one.
So
I wasn't sure. If you
I have
were.
been reading. This is pretty much a straight up Batman detective story.
Okay.
It's written by Warren Ellis, which it is a lot more slow than a normal Batman story.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. At this point, it's nothing earth shattering. I mean, it's a decent Batman detective story, but I wouldn't say you need to run out and get it. The art's pretty good. It's Brian Hitch, who's a fantastic artist in my opinion. And I'm generally a big fan of Warren Ellis. I like his work, but this particular one, it just seems kind of. I mean, we're on issue 7. I think there's supposed to be 12 total.
I believe with this kind of series, it's usually 12.
And it's okay. It's nothing groundbreaking in my opinion so far. It's nothing earth shattering. So yeah.
Apparently, we didn't buy issue 6, so there's a good chance.
Okay, so I might have missed a little. Yeah.
All right, so that's the Batman's Grave #7. Next up is The Flash #755. So I have started reading this one. This was the finale to the Flash Age. Previously, we were trying to figure out how to stop Paradox. Flash had gotten Reverse Flash because he was the only one to figure it out. Flash does his standard stuff of, no, we can't kill him. We have to be good. And shockingly enough, spoilers, by the way, shockingly enough, Reverse Flash does not kill Paradox. He actually saves him and prevents him from going into the alternate timeline where he becomes Paradox. So for once, he did what Flash wanted. Now here's the mega spoiler. He comes back.
Top of the other spoiler.
Kills Godspeed.
Sure.
Because, and it seems like, and I think this is going to be really cool, and this is why I wanted to spoil it, is the next storyline we're going into. Reverse Flash says to Barry, every time this happens, I do something bad, you get your Flash family and try to stop me. He's going to create his own Reverse Flash family. And so it's going to be interesting to see whether or not he tries to recruit other evil Flashes, potentially different multiverse flashes, or whether or not he's just going to find himself at different points in time and make an army of Eobard Thawne. Either way, I'm kind of excited. I think there is some good potential there. And I think one of the biggest parts of this comic was Eobard truly going, you know what, I'm going to respect Flash Barry Allen's suggestion and not kill this person. Instead, I'll kill someone else. Which I really sucked because I love Godspeed as a character. I really enjoy it. I like the pseudo villain, not really, but friend of the Flash. I always like that, but it's a shame to see him gone. So, and on to the last issue of today, the biggest comic that came out this week, the Joker 80th Anniversary 100-page Super Spectacular #1. I loved this comic.
I liked most of it.
I agree.
I was going to say, it's an anthology comic.
Yeah,
so.
most of it was really, really
Yes.
good.
Then there was the occasional one where you're like, that could have been better.
Yeah, there definitely were some where you're just going through and you're like, I don't know why you did that.
What is the point of that?
Yeah. But excluding those ones, I thought it was really cool seeing different parts of how Joker affects people. Like we have one story of the victim rehab, like trying to help with the PTSD of suffering those attacks. And I thought it was incredibly well written, very interesting to see the psychology behind it all.
And then the dark twist at the end.
Very dark twist at the end.
Like I said, the stories that are good are really good.
Yeah.
We have the
good.
origin of Punchline in here as well.
I was just about
for
to
those
mention that.
Who are
Which
interested
I
in the
really liked, actually. I wasn't sure where they were going to go with that character because we've seen so many different versions where most of it, obviously, we think about Harley Quinn.
Sure.
Of the falling in love.
Was this going to just be a rehash of that?
Yeah, or the rehash of the Joker's daughter where it was just a really weird situation. But no, it was an
interesting take.
It was a very interesting take, very good origin. I really liked it. Which ones did you enjoy that I did not mention?
That you did not mention?
Or the ones I mentioned. Up to you.
I'm trying to think of the individual ones now off the top of my head. Can I see it real fast?
Yeah, I'm trying to cycle through. I actually thought of one that I really, really enjoyed. I'll let you look through while I talk about that one.
Actually, I thought that one was a very good twist. The one where he's the bank robber.
Yes. I'll let you talk about that one before I go.
It's essentially this guy who works at a bank, and a bunch of robbers come in. And the kid kind of tries to do his best, and he pulls like the silent alarm, and basically Joker reveals that he's the Joker, and that he's like, oh, I have a soft spot for heroes, so I'm going to let you live today. And then he just kills everybody else in the bank.
Well, keep in mind, one part you've left out was he killed someone for the first time because he hits one of the robbers in the back of the head.
Yes, thank you.
And Joker's like, just starts talking to him about the first dozen are the hardest. Then after that, you start to enjoy it.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, but I have a soft spot for heroes. And then he kills everybody else in the bank and lets the guy live.
Very Joker. Very Joker.
I thought
my favorite,
the birthday party one I thought was pretty good.
Ooh, that was good.
That was a pretty good one. But there was some where it was like Ivy and Harley drunk at a bar talking about
plus the art was
dream.
Weird on
yeah,
that
I wasn't
one.
a fan of that. I mean, there were some that just weren't very good in my opinion.
One of my favorite was Batman died. And everyone has gathered around to kind of celebrate the life of Batman / Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And Joker
revealed that
he was Bruce Wayne.
That he was Bruce Wayne, yeah.
And then Joker is in the audience, like, prepared to blow everyone up.
Yeah.
And he starts having the realization of, because he's watching everyone be happy, and he's like, why are these people happy? Their hero just died.
Yeah,
like,
the only one that could beat him.
Exactly. And it was just really cool seeing the emotional connection of him with Batman. And then the best part being, he still wants to be evil, so he goes to work at the DMV.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
But there were a lot of really good mini stories in this, and actually very few ones that I did not like. The dream one being the biggest because the art really.
There was some that just that didn't even make any sense in my opinion. They just weren't very good stories. The last one was probably the worst one.
Which was the last one?
It's like they're in
Arkham.
It just didn't make any sense. Like I don't know if there was maybe some hidden metaphor I'm not getting because I'm not incredibly intelligent. But I didn't like. But overall, I did like it. I would say I probably liked. There were probably only like 2 or 3 that I was kind of like,
yeah.
You know, but the rest of them were quite good. Yeah, so
definitely worth buying.
Yeah, it was good.
I would say
if
this
you're
is
a fan, it's a Joker as a character. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say if you are a fan of Heart, you don't like the super creepy, you don't like the very sadistic, messed up stuff. Do not read this. Yeah. Do not. But I really enjoyed it. So that is the last comic today in the Comicstorian Weekly. Now we're going to go ahead and move into CTV, where I'm going to talk about Stargirl episode 4. So in episode 4, we have Stargirl beginning to recruit her new Justice Society of America, and she recruits her friend Yolanda to be Wildcat. I almost said Black Cat. To be Wildcat. And in this episode, we learn the reason as to why Yolanda does not like anyone and why everyone calls her a slut. And it's honestly, I was watching the beginning and I'm like, I know where this is going. It's the classic. She took a picture for her boyfriend and the picture got spread around and her family is like very ashamed of her. There's a lot of deep messages in this episode that I actually kind of liked. Kind of her realizing to be herself, like her family's reaction to it, as well as Stargirl recruiting her, and then like Yolanda realizing Stargirl has no idea what she is doing because she has no training whatsoever. So it was a fun episode. I actually enjoyed it. I'm enjoying this show. I will say that I really hope that her new Justice Society of America is not just all girls. And the reason why I say that is I think Stargirl and this Yolanda, the new Wildcat, are great role models. Like, I think they're actually genuinely good role models, and I would love to see them have both male and female role models in this show because there are guys watching this show as well. And I think that would be really good to do, especially with the way that they are writing these characters. But it does seem that this entire season is most likely going to be her just recruiting her new Justice Society of America, as well as Pat, who plays Stripe. Him kind of starting to learn about, I want to say it's called Blue Valley. Yes, Blue Valley. He's starting to learn that there are hidden things behind the scenes that even some of the other residents are seeing. Because obviously he knows about the Injustice Society of America, that there is Icicle in this town. There was Brainwave. So it seems like it's going in a cool direction. I am excited to see what they do. And I'm excited to see how they do it because of the fact that I think this show's going to get more seasons. I really think it will. And I'm curious to how they're going to complete this season because I don't think they would be able to completely remove the Injustice Society of America.
Right.
And so it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But I'm enjoying it. If you like that teenage superhero stuff, it's worth watching. I think it's definitely worth watching. And it's going to be fun seeing the recruitment for a new JSA, as well as the way that some of these powers are being passed on. Because in this one, it's kind of the Wildcat suit is essentially a Black Panther suit.
Oh, okay.
Where it has a lot of the powers in it. That's why she has the claws. That's why she's able to be very agile. Like the suit helps her. They even kind of have a very similar visual effect as to how they do the Black Panther of the kind of glowing purple and like putting it in the spots that is needed. So I would definitely say worth watching if you are interested in it, or at least give the first episode a shot. If you don't like the first episode, you might not like the rest, but I definitely think it is worth that one episode try. Did you want to talk about Space Force at all, or
I mean,
because I know you've been watching it and you seemed pretty excited about it earlier.
I'm only 4 episodes in, just because I was watching other things when it came out. So far, I think it's very good. The first 4 episodes, very funny. Not like it's not like a slapstick comedy kind of thing. It is a more of a dry humor, similar to The Office, which I think it's the same creators. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm pretty sure. And what I was telling you earlier is one of the reasons I like about it is it does make fun of like higher ups in the military. It's not making fun of the military, but kind of sometimes the higher up military mindset, I think, is probably the best way to put it. Which anybody who's spent any time in the military as a lower enlisted or even a lower officer probably has seen or at least heard of and bitched and made fun of. But on the other hand, it also has a lot of heart because while Steve Carell's character is a 4-star general, head of Space Force, just trying to put boots on the moon. That's what they keep saying. That's their mission strategy. Boots on the moon. Like, he does, on the other hand, believe in the mission, even if he's going about it in the most ridiculous military mindset way possible. Like I said, 4 episodes in, I think it's very good so far. I still have to finish it, though.
All right.
But, yeah.
All right, guys, that brings us to the end of this Comicstorian Weekly, aka CTV. Thank you for watching. We film this live, if you want to check it out, every Monday after our mystery cast at 2 p.m. Eastern. We do that over on twitch.tv/Comicstorian, where we also stream Absolute Comics every Tuesday, as well as Comics Experiment and our superhero D&D on every Thursday. You can support us over there with your subscriptions, either the $5, $10, $25, or your Twitch Prime subscription. All of them help support us over here, as well as our Patreons at patreon.com/Comicstorian, where for $2 or more, you get access to this podcast, other podcasts, early access content, and much, much more. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to find more of Andy, he is on Instagram at @IamTheAndy. And if you want to find more of me, I am on Twitter and Instagram at DanTProducer, or on Twitch at Silu91. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.